Welcome everybody again to the Mohawk Forex team, and we're back live scalping with another new setup. On information on how to join the group, go to www.mohawkforex.com and all the info is on there. We're here today. We're going to be trading the open in about 10 minutes time, and then we're going to follow that up with the USA PMIs. We've had good success this morning trading the French and the German, and then the Euro, and then there's the pound, the British PMIs as well. So we've got the USA ones coming up, and then probably even more high impact is going to be the new home sales, because obviously that's a good indication of if things are slowing down in the economy, whether a recession's kicking in, and what the Fed might do. Obviously it's the Jackson Hole meeting starting Thursday, so Thursday might be a good day to have off trading and watch as the markets maybe fluctuate. Sometimes they don't with that meeting, but this time they might well do. So but these are the news events we're going to be trading. But first we've got the open, and we're trading on a 5-minute time frame. We've got our buy sell labels which give us a heads up. We've got our moving average cloud, we've got our trend bar, we've got our RSI scanner of course, and that's it. And this is US30 which we're going to look at. I've just put a zone around an hour before and where the open is, so I've got a little breakout zone forming bottom of the supply and demand zone that we've got on our chart. So price might be tempted to push back up on the open. We'll see. We've got a sell signal that was a winning signal if you took that signal. So we'll watch US30 on the open, and then we've got our cable trade, which was a successful trade this morning on the Asian setting, and now we've got the New York line that we've set. Here's going to be our entry point, kind of half an hour after the open, and once we've seen the news play out. Obviously we don't want to be entering a trade bang on when we've got the homes news coming out at the same time, so we'll wait for the news to play out and then we'll have a look at entering cable. As you can see, there was a big drop. UK PMI news was obviously slightly worse than expected. It was 46, expected 51, so that obviously made the pound weak and the dollar stronger, hence we got this spike down, which was a good one. If you went in on that trade there, you could have come away with up to 20 pips, maybe 10, that's what I usually go for. That would have worked out really well. So we're expecting some kind of similar move on the PMI as well. We'll probably trade US30, but we'll watch cable and see. Like I say, cable, I want to enter that kind of around this zone here, wait for that first half an hour to play out, and then we'll look at taking a trade. But so far it's looking bullish. We'll just put our labels on there, you see. So our labels we had a buy label giving us a heads up. There was no entry there, and obviously now there could be a buy just going up to this level of resistance. I'm just going to put the fib on as well. There we go. So I've got our auto fib. All this is built into the Axe trading system that you get. Some drink. And in the group I go over the settings, how to use it, how to scalp, everything. That's the whole point of joining the group. It's interesting, the supply and demand zone. People loaded up their buys with a nice big sell-off, a nice buy signal, a couple of rangy moments, consolidation, a nice buy here, a sell here, and then a buy. So there was four decent trades on cable today that we could have bagged 10 pips on. Now we're just going to wait for the open. We've got 5 minutes to go, so I'm just going to look at US30. We just had a buy signal approach. Again, that was the same thing. We had a nice buy early on this morning if you were trading that in London. The sell we didn't take, the buy we didn't take. The sell here was another sell, we didn't take the buy. There's another little sell there we could have taken, and the buy here we didn't take, and the sell. So it's a good thing you can escape all the fake signals with this. It's just a good way of setting an alert to pop up on your phone or your chart to give you the heads up, and that's what it's all about. It's not, I'm not saying with these that you just enter blindly. You've got to have everything else correlate, but it's pretty accurate with RMA Cloud. It's pretty good. I'm just logging into the broker. And we're just going to be doing the smallest lot size I can do on my broker, which is 1, which is 10 cents a pip. Margin is £140, it's about $170. Maybe soon it'll be $140. They're on about today that it could be end of the year, it could be $1, £1, could be parity. It already is under on the euro dollar. They reckon with the inflation and everything and the news in Europe and in Britain and the strikes that it could well be, you know, $1, £1. Amazing. First time for a long time, years. But we'll see. But the markets still are bearish. We're still, any pullbacks we're seeing are still just little corrections in a bear market. Always remember that. If you get caught in a trade, at least be caught selling, shorting. There's more chance of it coming off than the buys. The buys are always the riskier. It's just news-led events, little flash bars like this within a, you know, look at that drop within a bear market. So always remember that. That's why I'm, you know, looking more for the shorts. But I will take the buys if everything sinks. But obviously I'm just going to flash in and out and get profit. I don't really want to hold too long. So we've got 2 minutes 18 to go. We're looking bullish. Let's plumb into Bloomberg and see what they're saying.
On the Nasdaq after 2 big days of losses on both the S&P and the Nasdaq 100. That's the price action. Here are your morning calls. First up, BTIG downgrading Zoom to neutral without a price target, expecting profitability to remain under pressure after its quarterly results. Wedbush upgrading Denny's to outperform, citing positive channel checks and optimistic meetings with management. And finally, Macquarie initiating coverage on Baidu with an outperform rating, expecting online advertising to recover in Q1 of next year. Coming up, JP Morgan's David Leibovitz making the case for US equities. From New York City, this is Bloomberg.
Cool, we'll have that on in the background. We'll get ready to see what price action is going to do. And that can actually just smooth it all out. You don't get the accurate price action. You've got the line here to give you the actual price, as you can see. Price starts and stops in the middle of the candle as opposed to the end on normal ones, but for this system we're using, it smooths everything out and the signals all line up really well. So we've got about a minute to go. Let's test this out. So we're always tweaking the systems, and there's so many systems within the Axe trading system that you get, which is basically 4 indicators that you get, but within each one there's a load of different indicators and the best sellers and systems and all our settings. So that's why I can keep coming up with different systems, different strategies time and time, and trying to make them work, you know. So it's all about. Okay, we've got 10 seconds, so good luck everybody. Let's see if price is going to push up into that 382, or we're going to break our supply demand zone, drop to 786. Like I say,
I think there are probably parts that you should hold on to. I think the main challenge that Japan faces is demography.
Look at the signal. Bang.
Declining, rapidly aging.
Let's see price pushing down.
The labor force, especially educated women. One needs to think about increasing immigration. These are issues.
Let's wait for a move.
to address, but a lot more needs to be done to quote-unquote revitalize Japan.
See it ranging around on that, stuck in that supply zone.
People ask me all the time, what is the key to
Trend bar saying sell, RSI is pointing down.
and work with the best investors you can find. On Bloomberg Wealth, I'm going to take you to meet the greatest investors in the world, the people that I would like to have managing my money.
At the start of the internet revolution, I kicked up
Just wait for the first move.
declaring that the internet had been underhyped. I say the same thing today about the climate revolution.
Let's see if it's going to push down to that zone. Ejecting out of it like it did before.
It's really a reminder, isn't it, just how sensitive the markets are to any commentary about trade.
Still wants to push down.
We did see some pressure on the futures. That is now being reversed.
Brilliant. And we got in there and out on that zone. What did we get there? We got 10, 20, 30, 40, $50. $50 using the small lot size there on US30. That's a good start. 5 positions taken, 5 sells. I'm just going to wait now and see if this zone is broken or not. You can see the thing with the Hakanashi, I mean, if you go into the normal chart, you'll be seeing price range around a lot, and this is what scares you. You know, whereas if you're using the Hakanashi, look, we're just seeing red. So obviously we're just holding sales on the open and letting it play out. Only if we see a RSI kick up or the trend line change green, are we going to look for buys. Now it squeezes up. As it squeezes up, we want to see if this is going to break this zone or not. So we'll just wait. If the supply demand zone and the 618 wasn't there, I'd be selling again. But like I said, I just want to make sure and see if this is a move or just a fake out. At the moment it's all looking bearish, but like I say, we've had a reversal off it. Let's move that line now so we can see. We don't need that anymore. Just to mark out. So you see now it's going to push up. Like I say, this is going against the trend, so we're just going to wait and see.
JD.com too, revenue growth beat estimates at China's second biggest online retailer, quieting some of those fears.
This is going to push down or reverse out. Just going to wait.
China's internet ADR is broadly higher as a result. And finally, Devon Energy climbing from the
That's the thing with Hakanashi, just going to wait a bit longer than they were like normal price action. I got in on those sales straight away because everything's synced up.
Devon's up 59% year to date. There's a massive winner, and Katie, thank you.
You can see your price line.
The last few years in a big way.
The cloud is red as well.
If you're looking at the outlook getting cut, the stock up by about 2.5%. This is the quote from the company. Continued deterioration of consumer discretionary spending in some of its categories.
Half the battle is waiting. We know that. Keeping cool, waiting. I try and do 4 or 5 positions if I can.
Hey John, well this is an interesting one because we have such a mixed bag this quarter relative to retail, and on the surface you would almost think that Macy's would be trading lower after cutting the forecast as you just mentioned.
If we look at normal price action, there you go, look, it's
down sharply, then up as much as 5%, right now up
pushing up.
1%. Not bad for,
but we're under our baseline.
may have really nailed it earlier, saying
now we're going green. So if we flick back to the our chart here, here we go, look. Now we're looking green. That's what we wanted to see.
They did cut the range. Now, some of it has to do with that weakness relative.
Let's see if price is going to push up.
Really not spending as much inflation, but it's also that familiar story of surging
just wait.
Discounting to get rid of some
it's
of
a nice
that.
reversal.
Balance, looking ahead to the holiday, having the right inventories for what people want. Now, relative to retail overall, inflation is really cutting into it because it's pretty interesting, John. If you take a look at retail sales out of 2020 on the rise, but if you take a look at retail sales in yellow relative to inflation, it's actually been declining since March of 2021. So this is a big part of what Macy's is dealing
Brilliant.
with. But right now,
there we go. There was the buy signal, so we jumped in. Let's wait for RSI now to come out of the zone and we'll go again. But we got another 5 positions there, and we got 16, 20, 30, another $40 there. So we're nearly up $100 in basically 5 minutes. Just post those so everyone can see again in the group. All my results are posted into the group. So, and all I'm doing, like I say, is following our system here. RSI is now crossing, so let's see if this is going to push up anymore.
Before today at 4.5% losses on the NASDAQ 100. Its worst 2 days going back to the depths of mid-June. And of course, on the year so far, we have the 10-year yield up 155 basis points, and higher rates weigh on companies with higher multiples. We know that to be true. And the NASDAQ 100, as a result, down about 21% year to date. Even worse for the semiconductors, off by more than 27%. Now, I mentioned
see if
that
it's going to push up.
been seeing up until recently, where value actually was giving back some of the ground it had gained relative to growth. That is the blue line there, the Russell 3000 value
right on that.
ratio to its growth counterpart. The yellow is the 10-year yield. You can see how those two lines
618
seem to track each other. Right now, growth is starting to wane once again. But as you mentioned, John, it really is that real yield that matters here. That is perhaps the truest gauge of borrowing.
And we got another 3 positions there. I did take a sell and got out of that one and lost 678. We lost 85 cents, but then I won 10, 20, 30, another $50 on that as well. So and then we're just going to close this last one now for $20. Yep, there we go. £20.34 actually on that last position, which is about $25. So, and that's me done. So that's $120 in 7 minutes, and we've still got the news events to go yet. So like I say, I'm going to hold off now. I've got 7 minutes till this PMI, which is really going to move US30. What you're going to do is all this is what I tend to do is 2 blocks of like 3 or 4 or 5 trades if I'm confident in the move. Maybe 3. 2's kind of it, and then you don't want to push it in case there's a reversal. But what we had here was we had the sell on the open from everything being red, obviously. You were looking at this as a support zone, so it's just going to be a quick entry. Then we had the buy signal, so we got in on that, and then we had the RSI break the neutral zone, so we get in on that. And again, we're taking profits at the 382 level. And if we go to normal price action, you can see the difference there. They're pretty much synced, same 382, and again about where we are. But you can see the difference. Just the hacking actually just smooths it all out, makes it less panicky to trade it. You just got to trust, and like I say, these signals are pretty good when they come in. Like I say, when they come in and everything syncs, your trend bar's green, your RSI is broken, the neutral, then that's good to go. And this could well push on up now. Now the only reason I'm not going in again is because one, I've taken how many trades did I do there? Just let me just. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15, 16 trades and 2 losses on that, so I'm just going to post all that. And that's probably why I don't want to. I just want to wait now for this news. But I can post this into our. So that's the NY Open scalped.
There is this risk of more hawkish rhetoric from the Fed, from the central banks.
There's a lot of risk that isn't in the market right now.
That's a very challenging near-term mix for risk assets.
We have to set up for some
And that's in 7 minutes. And that's what I like about this. If you can practice this, you know, you can be in and out and trading, and you really don't have to do any more for the day now. Like I said, I want to do the news because I'm doing this live stream. This is for entertainment purposes, no financial advice. I'm doing this purely for entertainment, and so I'm going to trade. Trade the news events. So it's nice to see other guys in the group getting some good results as well. So like I say, these signals, I set them up purely so that, you know, we get alerts to the phone. I'm not saying you automatically enter into them as soon as they appear, but on the opens it's different because you've got that momentum, that volatility. There's an alert, you can hear it. That's what you want, to hear that ringing. And look at pound dollar, look at that, look how it shot up. So this bodes well for our cable trade, because obviously at the moment we hit this resistance, the supply demand zone, So I'm looking for price to pull back to this 117 level. It's gone right up to 118. And again, you could have got in for a buy here. Look, forget the signal, doesn't matter, because you had the green trend bar, you had RSI pop out, and we had a green cloud, and we had a green candle. I mean, you don't need any more things telling you take that buy. So you could have just jumped in on this as a trade if you wanted to, and you could have been 30 pips up already. I'd have taken 10 myself. But we're going to trade this. Like I said, we've got the news coming up now, as you can see. PMI will be affected by, and the home sales. Like I said, I'm not going to trade pound dollar because I like to see a bigger move on it because of the commission levels, spreads, etc. It's a lot easier on US30. And then we go to US30. Look, it had that nice little buy. It hit the 382 and it's rejected now back to the 500. So we're into this kind of the golden zone of the fib. Obviously, we all know that. Everybody knows that. Where we can get this kind of, you know, between 618 and 382, we've got this area where we get this, you know, reversals, retests. We're waiting for a proper break, and we could be looking at a sell. We could be coming back down. Like I say, I would take a trade, but I'm not, because we're 4 minutes away from the news. So we'll stick on US30, but it was great. And this is why you get in and out. You don't want to be holding on the opens because the pattern hasn't been set for the session. We're just scalping the momentum, the initial volatility. It's these news events that will set the trend for the rest of the session. The PMI is looking strong. The prediction is, unlike Europe and Britain, where the production, the PMI is bearish, it's looking still strong here. 49 against a 47, 52 and a 52. Anything around 50 and above is seen as the market is, you know, the economy is expanding, not contracting. Below 50, it's contracting. So this is looking good. But that also means that the Fed will be more on the ball of putting interest rates up if manufacturing, services and everything, the composite, the overall is looking good. But we'll see, this could be way out. I'm not going to worry about consumer confidence. I'll leave that one alone. If anyone wants to trade that on the DAX. And these are preliminary releases, remember, so they'll be adjusted. You can see here, look, go on to any of the kind of news charts, and it just tells you. So we've got 1 minute to go.
Positive, not even a tenth of 1%. Coming up, disappointing data feeding global recession fears.
In Europe, you've got the gas issue. There's nothing quite to the same degree.
So we're counting down. Bloomberg is obviously just delayed a little bit. They'll come towards it will.
The Fed wants below trend.
The latest US data up next.
There we go. Right, again, we're just going to hit US30. Let's just make sure we're logged in. Yep. Right, let's go real price action. Let's have a look here. PMI 7 seconds away. I'm going to choose real candles to look at this one. Worse than expected on that, 51. 51. That's going to push stocks up. Look, let's just see what the others are. I'm not getting in yet. I'm going to wait for everything.
Does the Fed get to 7% in the coming months? Do you see that coming true?
There was something of a grey zone battle between Taiwan.
There we go. Everything worse than expected. So look at this for a rejection.
With unmatched reach and resources.
So that's going to push everything up.
The moment news breaks, 24 hours a
Let's see.
Bloomberg, your global business authority.
I went back and looked, and very few secretaries of state in the last 100 years, or maybe ever, have really gone back into government. So why did you want to come back into government for any issue when you've got 8 grandchildren, you've got 2 daughters, you've got a wonderful family? Why did you want to come back?
There's a big delay on that. Let's see.
This terrible process we have in Washington of getting things through.
Got some good results already.
Because I want those grandchildren to have a future. It's very simple.
Great.
We're not on a good track right now. The world is not serious enough about reducing our emissions fast enough, David.
Woohoo.
And the result is that the planet is going to continue to evolve in reaction to what we human beings are doing to it.
And we're done. Let's have a look.
Through fossil fuels.
What we got? So we got, we managed to get 10 positions away. We got 12, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We got about $150 on that move, on that buy on US30. So that is more than enough. Just have a look at how many positions I got. I took 2 small losses of 85 cents and, oh no I didn't, sorry, no. There we go, just making sure I was right. 46 was the entry, here we go, 50. So no, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 break even, everything else is a win. That's another 100 plus. So nice wins on the buys. Just posting that. So and there's your PMI result. That's what happens. The news pushes always goes the opposite way, as we know. On US30 on stocks. So you can have a look on here. It's on here you wouldn't have known, but you look at the trend. The trend is to the green. So this is where we would have taken the buys. That's why you've got to use real price action on news events. You know, for normal scalping we can use this, but you'd have been taking a sell. Well, I wouldn't, because I've seen the trend bars green, so I'll be taking the buys here. But on normal price action, look, you can see that's the candle. And on pound dollar, of course, the dollar stronger pushes up. So there you go. There's your US PMI results.
Well, there's some terrible economic data out of America with more. Here's Abby.
There certainly is, John. We're looking at a big miss here for
Here we
the
go.
S&P 500, the S&P Global U.S. Services PMI, 44.1. That is deeply in contraction. It's below the expectation of 49.8. This is, of course, the preliminary reading for August, and it's down from the prior reading of 47.3. There's no way to slice and dice that and make that look good, especially since many are saying that one reason that we may not be in a recession, services holding up. That is not the case here.
No.
The manufacturing PMI also missed at 51.3.
So
and
got it well wrong.
In at 45, now down for a fourth
Which means we've got to
month in a
move.
row.
There we go,
This is
look.
really pretty brutal data, suggesting, John, that again we could be heading toward a recession.
With one small caveat, it hasn't exactly lined up with the ISM. So we'll see if that lines up with the much more followed ISM, but that is a big miss.
So
to the
there was
downside,
your
Abby.
It certainly
there was
is,
a
and that's an
result.
interesting
Like I
point.
say,
The
it was
ISM, the companies
51,
measured
so it was
there, they tend to
down
be larger companies, so it
August.
suggests that the larger
The
companies have more
services was down to
resiliency, maybe a better
44, she
ability
just
to plan
said,
for a
and the
recessionary
composite
type environment.
45 as
So
opposed
the
to
smaller
49.
to
So
mid-size businesses, they appear to be getting hit, especially in the
Big
services
moves.
sector. But manufacturing not too far above contraction either. But again, the overall S&P Global U.S. Composite PMI, their preliminary reading for the month of August at 45. 50, that is the demarcation between contraction and expansion. The composite overall deeply in contraction.
Not good at all. Abby, thank you. I'll tell you one thing it does line up with. The data out of Europe that we got this morning. We had a 49 handle on manufacturing on the PMI in the Eurozone. I think the UK was something like 46.
Now it's going to pull back, you see, if you're looking at normal candles. There's publishing the results on there.
During the third quarter, declining output is now being seen across a range of sectors.
Now it's pushing up, you see. Now you see. This is where you can take a buy again. No, pushing up, pushing up.
Guy, that data this morning on both sides of the Atlantic, not great, is it?
Well, it's good for us. Look at it pushing. If we get red, green on the RS, we're going to break this 382 level, I think, this time.
The numbers out of the States does make me wonder about that. Yes, the data out of Europe are really, really bad right now.
That's 20% now on the account. Ooh, so it's time to close the laptop would be normally, but we've got one more news event to trade in 10 minutes, and that's even bigger.
From 49.9 in July. Manufacturing is bearing the brunt. That's probably the difference between the States.
So it's took us to 20.
But actually, I think the second derivative, you look at what's happening with services.
Just looking at the trades just done.
We're slowing down rapidly. Major economies are suffering. Germany, we all know, is kind of on point on this one. But France is now slowing very, very rapidly as well. And the ECB is expected to tighten into this. And that is the big difference between previous cycles and this one. The ECB is expected to deliver 50 basis points in terms of hikes in September. The question is
26 trades taken and just 2 losses. And the losses are basically $7. So yeah, well happy with this.
To ameliorate a little bit, but it's only marginal at this point.
Guy, I'm looking forward to your coverage in about 10 minutes as Guy leads you towards the European close. Guy, thank you. Looking at the move at the front end, bit delayed, but yields lower by 3 basis points now at the front end. The 2-year about 328.
Not for us, Jonathan. We're flying. We're flying with the buys, and we've still got our cable trade, where I'm looking to take the reverse.
We're going to tighten into some of this weakness.
Want to get 10 pips on the sell on pound dollar.
In the US, David, what do you make of that economic data we've got this morning? Because I can tell you a different story from one data point to the next.
But again, look at the RSI well overbought at 85. So we're going to wait for this pullback on the pound dollar. Like I say, we've got 8 minutes. But now we've got the next news event to scalp in 8 minutes time. So let's post that out. So this will be even more interesting to see if this is worse, because obviously we're looking at -8% previous. The consensus is -3. So they're looking at, you know, a slight increase. I'm trying to say new home sales 5.9, 5.75. It's about the same. So this is going to be an interesting news result as well.
Back into this environment that is very similar, I think, to what we saw in the aftermath of the financial crisis, and that in and of itself, you know, over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, hopefully begins to address the inflation issue in a more significant way.
We've got this weakness in Europe we need to factor in as well. David, Ed Yardeni, much followed Ed Yardeni of Yardeni Research, said the following: a severe recession in Europe might not cause a recession in the US, but it certainly would depress the earnings of many US corporations. He went on to say it would strengthen the US dollar further, which would also depress earnings of US companies with sales in Europe. David, are you factoring that
new
into
home sales next,
and the parts of the market you want to avoid?
And then we're done.
We are. We think that the dollar issue is one that is likely to continue to plague companies for the foreseeable future.
And this is how trading should be. You know what I mean? We should be done in 45 minutes, you know, maximum of an hour, either side of London and New York, and multiple trades, take the wins and move on, and that's it. So this is what true scalping is about. It's just good we've got this nice. And then tonight we've got our favourite, the API, always delivers the goods. It's been 100% win rate recently. So again, I'll be back in our group trading this. This is like 30 minutes after New York closes. We can set a trade on that, and then it hits TP during the Asian or Australian session.
I've asked this in different ways throughout this morning. Do you think we fully understand?
Tomorrow there's no real news in Europe. It's all about the durable goods and then the EIA, gas and crude oil and pending home. So big news day tomorrow. We'll be back to do another live stream for this as well and do the same thing over and over. And this is the whole thing. It's being repetitive. It might be boring, but it's not boring if you're being profitable. It's going again, going again, going again. If you lose, you go again. You stick to the system, stick to the way you trade. So it becomes habit. And if something becomes habit, you don't get scared. And that's, the emotions get less and less as you do something multiple times, like with anything in life.
course of 2022 thus far. I think.
And then Thursday, like I say, could be a good day to have off, as it's the Jackson Hole meeting. We've got the jobless claims, which we might trade, but we'll see what the market decides to do with the meeting and so on. So Thursday could be a good rest day, basically, but we'll see.
We need to buckle our seatbelts because it's going to be a tumultuous couple of months, particularly for.
So we've got 5 minutes to go, everybody. So good luck if you're going to trade this. Let's just have a look again.
Thank you, sir. So what have we got? We've got data with a massive downside surprise in the US. Yields.
We've already on to the next one. We've already forgotten about that, Jonathan. We're on to the next.
The dollar index rolling over negative, about 0.5% right now. Up next on the program, I'll get you to the trading diary. That's next. This is Bloomberg.
We know what's next. So again, the Hakinashis, you want to use these ones when we've got the buy-sell signals and when we're normal scalping. But for news events, I still like to see the real deal in terms of price action. So that was PMI, as you can see, and now we're going to get the new homes. Just going to highlight that. New homes news. See how the RSI responds differently to the mathematics. You see with Hakinashi, you know, on our normal candle chart, we're in the neutral zone on the RSI, and it's just about the same. Usually it's a little bit ahead. It can be lagging or ahead, but 51 as opposed to 53, so a little bit higher. Same 5-minute time frame, but you can just see the difference between using the Hakinashi, using the same fib, same supply demand. Just like I say, just stops all the noise. And I use 2 trend lines to confirm a trend when I'm looking at normal price action candles, whereas I don't need to. With this I just need the 1, because obviously the candles themselves are giving me the trend. So it keeps the chart nice and clean, and I've got the moving average cloud in there to help if you need that as well. So the cloud is green at the moment. The last signal was a buy. You know, is it going to be another buy? Is the news going to be? So we'll go in on this. I reckon we could see a pullback, but the price is still very volatile at the moment. There's a quick succession news events.
Let's call it 26 minutes in. Equities rallying in the face of some pretty ugly data out of America. Equities up 0.25%.
There you go. Equities up because of that data.
Just a pick up on the Nasdaq by about 0.5%. We'll see if this sticks. That's the price action. Here's your trading diary. New home sales at the top of the hour. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari speaking.
That's in 2 minutes time.
US GDP and another round of jobless claims on Thursday.
As I said, jobless claims. We'll have a look at that. And then Friday, a nice one to finish the day off with.
PCE deflator and personal income and spending data.
Oh, Michigan.
From New York City. Thank you for choosing Bloomberg TV. This was the countdown to the open. This is Bloomberg.
Okay, let's zoom in. So we've got a minute left. We've got the countdown now. Good luck, everybody. Final trades of the day. And we've only been trading 30 minutes, and this is what I like. This is a good thing about having news events after the open. It's a short session. When the news events are before, we're trading an hour extra and just trade the news events and a couple of little bits, but it's nice when the news events happen after the New York Open. Shorter day, a shorter working day. We've got 20 seconds. Good luck, everybody, and like I say, you want to be trading. And remember, we've got the pound-dollar cable trade, which we're looking at a sell, but again, I'm not touching this until we've seen this news play out. Make sure we're logged in. Yep, we're logged into my broker.
Okay, so you're moving in on me quick, distracting me with your fancy hands.
There we go.
With your
and of course it's worse than expected. Look at that. Let's see, it's minus 12% new home sales and 5-1. Look at that sell.
A lot of chess. I was practicing for you. I know you're pretty good.
Let's watch this push down.
I don't like that.
Let's see.
Take this. Put it over here.
Not cool.
It's going to bounce off that.
All right. I will concede. I can see. You've got me beat.
Very good game. Well played.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's see if we're going to get a bounce off this. It's going to push up now. I'm bouncing off that zone. We're green on our trend bars. We're going to take some buys. We're going to go to sales. Let's have a look.
And strategic advice, Bloomberg Law offers an unmatched platform of analytics tools and business.
You can see it's going to post that.
All to help improve productivity, mitigate risk.
So they should release this. Look at that, beautiful.
A comprehensive platform that helps you work smarter and faster. The difference is.
So it worked worse than expected.
DSO Now is your online home for weekly Boston Symphony Orchestra and Boston Pops performances. See new concerts that go behind the scenes, plus acclaimed archival concerts. Visit BSO.
Already another $50 up on the buys.
BSO season sponsor, Bank of
Let's see if it pulls back.
What is your base case for Italy in terms of what happens politically and what the economic fallout is?
Let's see if it's going to push down now. Let's see if we can get some sells. Yeah, there we go. Come on, push in, push in, push in.
Mainly because of a human error that led Pepsi to print more winning caps than they planned. The resulting chaos caused riots, civil unrest, and even deaths. Reporting this story took over a year, and it resulted in me flying.
There you go, here's the drop now. Just, again, it's on that supply zone that everyone's been hanging on to, as you can see. Let's see if it's going to push down a bit more.
My name is Jeff Maish. I'm a journalist based in Los Angeles. I wrote the story for Bloomberg Business Week about Pepsi's number fever campaign.
Cool. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look what we got. Let's have a look at the results on that. So yeah, we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5, 50, $60. $60 on those sells on US30 and $50 on the buys, so another 100. So that's really nice. Just going to post that. You can see the buy was just a fake out, but we took the buy, now it's pushing down. If it breaks this zone, we're in again. Let's see if it breaks this supply zone. This is what we want to see. All that bad news. Two blocks of it, there we go. And I've done again, yes, another 5 positions. This is what I like to see, look at that. Hope the guys in the group got the sales, well done. That's 3 blocks I've done of trades, so I'm not going to go anymore in case we're going to get a pullback reversal on that. That was another sneaky cheeky little 5 trades. Again, I'm not just using the smallest lot size on multiple trades. If you want to go for risky, obviously you go bigger lot size and take even smaller positions, but I don't want to do that. I like the way it rolls with just this lower risk. So let's see this zone get broken. Let's have a look at our Hakanashi charts. As you can see, again, we will take the sell if we get the trend bar going red. So this is the good thing. This is more, when this happens, there's more conviction behind the move. This we know we're trading. You know, look at that's gone red now on the shorter term trend bar. Here we're going to break this zone. If so, look at that, we could be coming down to 786. We just don't know yet. We're waiting. Price action's pushing back up on that again because people are buying. This is where people have loaded their buys in, so they're trying to push the market back up again. Whereas everyone else is trying to. We want it to come down. So let's flip to our normal. So you go. So that you don't want to be taking any sells at the moment now until we see price break this zone. We want this trend bar to go red, and the RSI is already synced. We've got the red candle, you know, take it off and see, look, we've got our fib there, everything's nicely lined up. So I'm going to post this chart, let's see if price is going to range around on this now or whether it is going to actually push down more. So we're still green, we've not got a sell label. What is that sell label to pop up? I think it was that heads up.
349 had already been allocated as a non-winning number in earlier campaigns. So there were literally hundreds of thousands of bottle caps with 349 just floating around the Philippines. Hundreds of thousands of people all across the Philippines, thousands of islands, were finding winning bottle caps. 349, 349. Some people had 10 lucky 349 bottle caps.
Just got to wait, look, it's not doing anything at the moment. 3 minutes, over 3 minutes left on this candle.
It's still not certain exactly how many winners there were.
Right, now let's have a look at the cable trade. Let's have a look. Pushing up as you expect. Dollar is stronger. We'll want to wait for this sell now. Looking for that sell on cable, but not yet. What I want to see is obviously RSI coming down out of the overbought zone. I want to see that trend bar go red. So we're just going to hold off. We know what direction we're looking at. We're looking for this to pull back, probably to the not say to the NY line, but at least to the golden zone, which I draw for those of you who don't know what the golden zone is, but kind of from 6185 to 382. So this is the area here where price will either come into it, range around, and then break or bounce up and reverse. So, and we can just measure from where we are here, where price is now, and look at that. I mean, 40 pips. Don't be greedy, just go for 10. Go for a couple of trades, take 10, and that will do you. But again, don't enter yet because this could still push up. We can just zoom out on our chart, and we can see that above our 0 on the fib, look, the fib that can go up. I mean, it's set for hit, but then we've got a level here. We've got a level here. So we've got levels here of resistance where price could push up. And then the fib will move obviously with it. This is an auto fib built into the Axe trading, so it will move. So at the moment it's strong. You know, we could have got a re-entry here, but I don't want to be entering a trade with the RSI this high and with it extended right up. I just want to be looking to take the sell if it happens. So wait for confirmation is the key. Sit on your hands. Should be good for 10 pips.
They presented me with documents and interviews with people who claimed that Pepsi had paid them to cause riots, to cause trouble.
And you can see it's just hanging around that 118. RSI is really high. Look at that. I mean, 91. So US30 is doing what I thought. It's ranging. You see, it's a fight between the bad news, which pushed it up initially, pushed it down again, and now back up again because we've got this demand zone. So it's not smooth. So for the time being, I'll probably avoid US30. Let's wait for a proper break. And just look at the RSI. When the RSI is in and out the neutral zone, you know, avoid. The overall trend is still bullish. We're looking for a reversal off this zone price to push up. If RSI gets to that, breaks in green out the neutral zone, then we could be looking at a buy again. There we go. There it is. Look at that. There it is. There's the break.
same time they...
That's what you want. Price pushing back. If we look on normal candles, there you go. Look at that, what a move. So the sell was just a fake out, and the bad news, obviously, as most of the time, equals good news for the stock market, you know, rallying and pushing prices up. So that's the chart there. Again, that's why news events are just flash in, get the green, get out, and then wait for the bigger move. And there's the bigger move. We've got a double trend, we've got RSI at the zone. This could be pushing up to this demand zone. Like I say, I'm not doing any more trades because I've done best part of, like I say, we've done 26, 27 trades just in this session, and we're already we're best part of 25% up on the account, so I don't need to risk anything else. We can just watch for the last couple of minutes.
The money, he would just represent them pro bono. He flew to America and he hired two consumer lawyers here in America to take on Pepsi. We had a meeting at Pepsi's headquarters to try and resolve the problem, but he said he wanted to take it all the way to
let's post that new homes news into the chart.
those cases were heard in America. Those courts decided that this was a problem that should be heard in the Philippines, not in America. Back in the Philippines, Del Fierro continued his case in the Filipino courts. At one stage, there were arrest warrants handed out for 9 Pepsi Cola.
Perfect, so let's just look at cable. Again, like I say, it's still high. Look at that, it's 89. You know, just got to wait. This trade will come off. There will be a sell down, at least, and look, you can see, as I say, in the fibs move, look, so you level now, your 382, your golden zone, you can set it there, look.
They sued him for libel.
You can have this set on the chart. All you've got to do is wait for red, wait for this to dip down. Aggressive entry is when it breaks out of the zone down. Second aggressive entry is when it enters the neutral zone. The more the more high percentage winning traders when it comes out of the neutral zone. But as scalpers, we want to get the maximum from our pips. There's 3 potential entries here on the cable. We'll just go another couple of minutes, and we've done an hour stream, and that's what I wanted to do today, just to show that if you get this system right, you can be in and out of the market within 30 to 30 minutes or so. I mean, I was done after 7 minutes, to be honest with you. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. It's about practicing and being faithful to the system, the setup you've got, and just keep practicing it.
To anyone who was working at Pepsi that was around in those days, they also said that during COVID-19 they didn't have access to their documents about this. But
a lot of waiting, which this is, but again, you know, we've got a sell signal we're looking for. We've got an alert set up. You can just go and set alerts up on it, and so we'll get a bell when the sell comes, and then that again is under great trigger. Rather than sat here like we're doing now, waiting for the chart, you can just set the sell, you know, to trigger to your phone, go off, do whatever you got to do, and then enter the trade. So that's the good thing about it. That's why we brought these into the mix. Even though I'm not a big fan of any kind of predictive signals, they definitely do help. And if you use the rest of our system, you can avoid all these fake out ones. You know, as I showed here, you know, look, there's a sell here, but the RSI was not red. So even though the trend bar, you would avoid that. The buy here, again, it was red at the time, so you could avoid that one. The sell here was bang on. That was a good sell signal. Red cloud, red RSI, red trend bar, so that was a winning trade. And then we had the green one here. It didn't happen until after. Again, just go to the next fib level. That was a nice winning trade. The sell here, look, was also bang on. Red cloud, red RSI, red trend bar. And then obviously we had the bigger move. You could have gone from here. Bang. So it just shows you how, you know, with the rest of the setup, when you combine things, you can try and avoid it. Not everything, you can't avoid losses, you can't avoid all fake outs, but you can up the percentage to get towards that 70-80% level. RSI now is dipping, look, but we're still green cloud. You know, for me, I want to see price break into 236 before, you know, I'm looking at sell. But we'll keep watching this anyway. I'm going to end the stream now because I'm going to go and get some snacks, celebrate our nice little session, a nice little win. Great day. I love days like this, like I say, when we've got high impact news events all stacked up after the open. And at the moment, data and fundamentals are leading the way over technicals every day of the week at the moment. I've always said this before, but there was a period in time when these weren't as effective because there were bigger picture events going on in the world. Now all the market is looking at these data points to give them an indication of whether we're hitting recession, even in Europe, US or UK. So even these medium impact news events, there's chance for us scalpers to get in there and get some pips. And tomorrow will be a just as good day. Thursday, like I say, maybe, maybe not. Friday, again, the Jackson Hole still continues, but we'll look at the Michigan consumer sentiment. This is a big one, as we said before, almost as big as NFP, not as quiet, but, and then we've got the Fed speaking at the same time, so this will be an interesting mix to see what happens.
Dortmund is a mid-sized city in the western part of
Let's keep watching, see if we get anything on this.
and it's a former industrial city that's
So we're waiting for sales.
severely bombed in the war. So the center of the city is
So just sit on your hands.
some of the few high points include its soccer team.
My name is Ike Henning. I'm a reporter with Bloomberg News, and I'm a great fan of Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund fans are super loyal. On all match days, the entire city is in black and yellow. It's like a religion.
I think more than most German cities, soccer does play a very large role in the identity of Dortmund.
So I'm just posting. We'll be back tomorrow for another live stream. Please click the like button, it does help, and you know, share, subscribe if you haven't already, so you get updates to what we're doing. And like I say, we're just going to wait for this sell, set the alerts up, and just wait on this. So
Unfortunately, that didn't go too well. Dortmund bought too many
like I say, if you want information on, again, just go to the website www.mohawkforex.com. All the links are below the channel there, and get access to our VIP Discord group. And there's 3 or 4 different strategies we're trading at the moment. Like I say, normal price action, Hakanashi with signals. We've got some breakout systems. You know, there's quite a few different things I'm teaching at the moment. So if you want to learn, then obviously come along and join the group. And that's it. So until tomorrow, happy trading, stay safe, sit on your hands and wait. And I'll catch you on the next live stream. So take care all.